Why aren't you popping up over here? Okay, there we go. Alright, YouTube folks, feel free to skip ahead about a minute. I'm going to give people a chance to get into the chat here before I start talking about this very spicy deck list. It's a weird one, even by Legacy standards. So just to kind of recap yesterday. Yesterday I played 2 leagues with this Maverick deck list, and I really liked it a lot. It was very, very solid. This was Miranda Keith's deck list, and she passed along a sideboarding guide that was very, very helpful for the matches. This deck felt great. I'll probably play with it again a little bit more later. But today I wanted to do something kind of silly as my last stream before Latin Academy, at least presumably. You know, who knows what happens tonight, but presumably this is my last stream before Latin Academy starts. I love the almost seamless transition from the chat background to your wall color. Oh, that is, like, surprisingly similar. Morning, hippie long years. I hope you're doing well. Alright, folks, my name's Phil Gallagher. I run Thraben University, which is a site exclusively for Legacy, Death, and Taxes. D&T is kind of in this waiting period right now where Brightling isn't on Magic Online, and Brightling is the truth. So I've been playing a lot of not D&T just to kind of branch out a little bit and have some fun. Alright, let's start with this deck. First of all, this deck is sweet, and I lost to it recently. So Moto user JGM has been playing this deck list, and I was already considering playing it because, like, I saw it, and then I played against it, and the deck does not kill quickly, but my god, is it annoying. It's sort of a soft lock control deck, and it tore me apart. I just got, like, smallpoxed into Lily, and I was just, like, done. So, what is this deck doing? Since this deck has no 1-drops, it is a solid Chalice of the Void deck. And with Mox Diamond, you do have the possibility of a turn 1 Chalice of the Void. Otherwise, you have a handful of very powerful 2-drop cards. Him, Smallpox, Loam, Living Wish, and Library. That's a powerful set of cards. Loam lets you recoup the losses from these Mox Diamonds, and is a powerful engine on its own that can just win games, especially with the utility lands that this deck has. It has Baron Moor for card draw, Cabal Pit for removal, Dark Depth Stage combo, it has Wasteland, so like you have good solid lands that you can go and recycle with Life from the Loam. It also pairs really well with Smallpox in Liliana of the Veil, because you don't care about blowing up your own lands or discarding a bunch of irrelevant land cards. The Living Wish package is kind of cool. Let me just separate that out here. And let me confirm that that is just on screen. I think it is. Yeah, okay, that's on screen. So, Living Wish is a tutor that lets you get a card from your sideboard. So you can get a creature or a land. So you get Hexmage, Depths, and Stage to complete the combo and create a Merit Lodge. Otherwise, you can just get a Wasteland to just, like, further squeeze your opponent's resources, or one of the deck's real win conditions, Tombstalker, which in this deck, most of the time, is just going to be a black-black 5/5 flyer. That's pretty darn good. So this deck has 4 copies of Liliana, although they're of different types. 3 Veils and 1 Last Hope. And then we get to the spicy card of the deck, Bontu's Last Reckoning. And I'm going to read this one for you, because I'm sure you don't know it. So it's 1 colorless, 2 black. Destroy all creatures. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. Now that's a pretty big downside. But in a deck as sort of like slow as this one, and a deck that's going to like continuously hit land drops with Loam, or that can still use Mox Diamond and Chrome Mox to make plays after a Bontu's Last Reckoning, this isn't all that scary. So this is not quite a 3-mana unconditional wrath. Like, there is a condition, your lands don't untap, but like this is a very powerful card in this shell. Like, between Smallpox, Decay, Dismember, and all these lilies, you should be able to keep most creatures in check. When something slips through, you Bontu's Last Reckoning, and you get it all off the board. It's only a downside if it resolves. Well, you're not wrong. Alright, looking at the rest of the sideboard, you have Leyline of the Void for things like Reanimator. You have 2 more Thoughtseizes and Lilies for sort of your combo decks. You have Choke for your fair blue decks, as well as Sinkhole and Dismember for anything that gets a little bit aggressive. I don't think this deck is going to be very quick at closing out games, based on my experience, but like it does still have the possibility of just like turn 2 Merit. Well, I guess you don't have Hexmage in the main deck. So you can make a Merit Lodge on turn 3 with Urborg, Stage, Depths as natural draws. Oh, actually, I guess earlier with Mox Diamond. So I guess you can still, like, turn 2 create a Tentacle Monster. So that seems neat. I think this deck list is going to be a lot of fun. I don't know that we're going to win all of our matches or anything, but when I talked to JGM in chat, he said that he was consistently going 3-2 or better with this deck list, which is a great sign that the deck list is viable. I don't think it's going to be tier 1 or anything like that, but I am okay with incinerating 12 tickets to try this out. I think that's about where I'm at. Let's battle. The Hexmage is in the sideboard, so it's a Living Wish target. Well, my hand does things, so I guess I keep it. Probably Miracles. Opponent's a little resource light now. This Liliana might just tear into them. But I think I'm going to take my time in that regard. And not expose that to actual factual counterspell. Yeah, Life from the Loam, not the sort of cards that Miracles would like to be playing against. Alright, so they have a Snapcaster. That's fine. Do I just want to draw step? Probably not. Let's see if this resolves. I have a feeling there's a 2-drop on top of my opponent's deck because they think I'm just going to, like, Loam again. Yep. Rug Delver went fine. I don't remember how I did. I've been playing a lot of Magic. But no complaints. Ooh, library is sweet. But I'm going to try to resolve Loam first. Yes, Sean, I did see that 1-mana card that exiles anything with converted mana cost 1. But I think by Legacy standards, it's just going to be worse than something like, say, Path to Exile for our purposes. Because most of the time when we want to remove something, it is a creature. Like, it can remove random things we care about, like, Exploration, Mana Bond, Molten Vortex, Ether Vial, Pithing Needle. So, like, it can remove some random stuff. Aw, there goes Lily. Yeah, I'm fine with paying life for both of those and doing both of those right now. Let's get that last card, shall we? It's a Snapcaster Mage. Ooh. So opponent has Snapcaster Mage on top of Library. So no 2-drops for Phil this turn. Great. No, my Loam's in hand, so I can't dredge both those, but I actually want to draw the Cabal Pit because I want to Cabal Pit away this Snapcaster Mage. I mean, like, I can Bontu's Last Reckoning if I absolutely have to, but I just want to Cabal Pit it. This deck's fun for me. Alright, we got the concession. So I want sinkhole. I want choke. I want anything that has the word planeswalker on it. And this is probably about all I'll board. You don't really need Dismember. Probably trim one land. The games are going to go long. And for a similar reason, I can probably trim Chrome Mox. I don't want the card disadvantage there. Specifically of Chrome Mox. Of Mox Diamond, I don't care, because like eventually I'm going to find a loam and do that whole thing. I could also consider Thoughtseize, but like I'm a Chalice deck, so I don't really want to do that unless the Thoughtseizes are really important to my game plan. Yeah, my opponent fought the good fight for a long time there. Geez, I have 2 Planeswalkers and a Sinkhole, and that's all really good. But I need to hit a land or my hand does nothing and my opponent will get so far ahead I can't possibly win. I think I need to ship this one. This one I'll keep. Library's great, library can go on top. Yeah, I think oh, man. A, my opponent is playing Wasteland. That's spicy. B, I hit 2 lands out of my opponent. That's gotta be crippling. Alright, well, opponent attacked my mana too. Only fair. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Alright, opponent doing a really good job of hitting land drops, despite the fact that I just took 2. So I can just, like, go for the Tentacle Monster here. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just going to make myself a second Cabal Pit so that I can go and cast this Hymn to Turok. I kind of want to, like, play this game out a little bit longer. So I think I'm going to start with him, let him get countered, and then I'll go elsewhere. But let's blow up a land first. Ooh, got a Swords of Plowshares and a Disenchant. Tasty. Phil, what are you doing? Stop! The poor man! He has a family! He has a family, Phil! Forcing Swords to Plowshares. God, this deck's great. This is a distraction. No, I don't want that Mentor on the board creating tokens. I just want to kill it while I can 100% kill it and answer the follow-up token. Like, my Liliana will race the living bejesus out of this Jace. And I'm also producing a Merit Lodge as soon as I draw a land. And I'm going to be attacking my opponent from just, like, one too many different fronts. So basically, opponent needs to find Council's Judgment for Liliana. This feels gross. So now opponent needs land and Council's Judgment for Liliana. Ah, damn it, they found it. Well, E with 0 is kind of awkward, but it's fine. So I can just kill this mentor right now. My opponent's F6'd. But then I lose the ability to Merit Lodge, which is how I'm winning this game. I just think if I, like, lose my Cabal Pit / Thespian stage here, I just have, like, no outs to win. No, I'm 100% not getting punished for that ant colony. Look at the board. And also, I used my wasteland to blow up a land. I used my wasteland to blow up my land. And I used this Cabal Pit for something. I forget what. Yeah, a different mentor, that's right. No, I wouldn't have cared if my opponent had Teferi because they wouldn't have drawn a billion cards. Like, the Jace got them back into the game. Alright, so this will be blow up this guy, and then it has to be swords. Or Snapcaster swords. That's fine. The ant colony, at the time, my plan was Turbo Merit Lodge, so I disagree with you. Like, my opponent was on a mulligan, my plan was, like, double him them and then produce Merit Lodge. And then drawing the Lily changed that. Right, the ant colony, let me just, like, repeat what I just said. My plan was double him to Turok them, and then create a Merit Lodge. That's plenty safe. So that match slipped away, but I don't regret, like, not going for it in the earlier portions of the game. I felt fine with playing that patiently. My opponent just, like, found that Council's Judgment on that critical turn before Lily ultimated, which was unfortunate, because, like, that turn had to be brainstorm into both Council's Judgment and the white land in order to do it. The Ant Colony, I don't think so. I'm a Chalice deck. I don't want Thoughtseize unless Thoughtseize is really, really, really good. And I love Smallpox in this matchup because it blows up lands. And one of the best ways to, like, cripple Miracles in the early game is to take them off of their lands. Alright, alright. I will accept that then. But I still disagree about the Swords of Plowshares thing. Oh no, not Sinkhole. Smallpox. Well, I don't love this hand. It has half of a Merit Lodge kill, but it has a Lily. Lily's really good. This hand kind of has, like, Lily and nothing else going for it. I think this is a very reluctant keep. That's a good draw. But I know my opponent has multiple disenchants as well as Council's Judgment, so I don't expect that to be a hard lock by any means. Well, I'm real happy to see a Snapcaster go. But I assume that means that this is just getting disenchanted right now. Oh, Dave C., thank you very much for hosting. I mean, Lily of the Veil is really good if they don't get a Jace active. When they get a Jace active, less good. So, my opponent can't actual factual counterspell right here, so this might be a time to try to resolve Lily. But I could play patiently and just him first. I kind of want to try to resolve this. I don't know if it's correct. If I him and I leave them with, like, land Jace, that's bad, or if I leave them with a counterspell, that's bad. But him can do a lot of random damage that Lily of the Veil won't to this turn immediately. Chat thinks him. I think it's a very close call. Because, like, him has a better chance of keeping them off of a Jace. But this is a chance where Lily is very likely to resolve. I'm gonna Lily. Now, Smallpox isn't castable yet. Jeez. That is the tech. So how do I want to play this turn? I think I want to play Depths and him, get those last cards out of their hand, plus Lily, get rid of Smallpox, and then have Bontu for the Snapcaster Mage on the following turn. I did not think that Wish was going to be good. Like, the only way Wish is good is if my top deck is a Depths or a Stage. And all the other cards are much more relevant given the board. So, like, even though I drew the Depths, I don't regret it. Okay, so I guess alternatively, I can plus Lily, discard Depths, or discard him. I can plus Lily, discard him, play Depths, cast Smallpox, sack Depths to leave myself with stuff to still do. I don't know, the Smallpox maybe doesn't favor me, so maybe I should just, like, Bontu's Reckoning the Snapcaster Mage on the following turn. I guess I can just Smallpox, too. That's pretty good. So I can Living Wish for a Tombstalker and then just, like, not plus Lily. Or I can just, like, try to ride Lily. I'm gonna get Tombstalker. I accept that. That's great for me. Alright, 3-turn clock. Go, go, go. Yeah, I probably did want the swamp over the bayou. Woo! Okay. I spent a bit too long thinking on a couple of critical turns just due to not being like overly familiar with the deck list and the lines of play. But the deck feels pretty sweet. Sinkhole confirmed strong versus basic planes. Well, we lost that one, right? Like, we sinkholed the basic so they couldn't Council's Judgment, but then they brainstormed into Tundra and Council's Judgment. So, maybe not. Well, I have a loam. I have a library. I have a couple of smallpoxen. The lead on swamp to confuse my opponent. So this is essentially kind of a soft prison deck, if I were to describe it. It revolves around the power of Life from the Loam to really gain card advantage when coupled with things like Liliana of the Veil. Yeah, that Deathray Shaman is not living. That's not acceptable. No, I don't want to smallpox this early in the game. I think like I want to library on turn 2. Because like just sticking library early game will give me a huge degree of filtering when coupled with Life from the Loam, so that I can dredge all my crap off the top of my library. I've got a decay for that needle, so we can attack that later. Expect this one to maybe... Hmm. I think I'm fine with tapping out for Chalice. Like, it's either tap out for Chalice here or tap out for Loam here. It's like I'm tapping out either way. I think this is the best line for that turn pretty easily. And chat figured that out too. I don't think we need to expect a deed coming. HC Fox, I don't think that's actually accurate. I don't think there's Deed in the main deck in most of these deck lists. Jeez, no lands is rough. So I can, like, float a mana, cast a Smallpox, sacking, like, say, the Swamp. Or no, I can just, like, cast Smallpox, sack my Swamp, loam back the land that I sacrifice, and discard my other Smallpox. That's fine. Yeah, my opponent is not a Leovold deck. You would just discard the loam. Okay, I could see discarding the loam. And then just, like, Pox again. And just treat it as, like, a really awkward, slow sinkhole. Alright, Bear with two guns. I like that. I think I just want to cycle this and take a card. Like next turn, I can just like copy their dark depths. Yay, I did it. So Sinkhole seems fine. Lily Last seems fine. That might be all I sideboard. Well, Arkin, this is a real spicy meatball. I guess you can call it like black-green control. It's a Life from the Loam, Liliana the Veil, Chalice deck. Bear with Two Guns, like, I want these Living Wishes to have targets, right? So I really want those there. Like, these 5 cards I really don't want to board in, basically ever. Alright, so Thoughtseize does come in despite how awkward it is. Okay. What's my last board out? Like, these seem easy and reasonable, but I don't know what to do from here. Is it just like the Chrome Mox and sacrifice some degree of speed? No, Living Wish is a very powerful card. It's just a touch slow, right? And it has like some weird sideboarding restrictions built in with it. You'll occasionally see it in like some Maverick style decks. But that's about it. So Proto, remember that sometimes the Depths deck plays things like Bitter Blossom, and so I 100% want to have that around as a way to check Bitter Blossom and Bobs and random things of that nature. This turn got interesting. So I can just, like, decay the shaman on 1, or I can accept that one of my lands eats it this turn in order to just play, like, turn 1 Chalice on 1. If I play turn 1 Chalice on 1, I can just play, like, turn 2 Liliana, which then sacks the shaman. That seems like my best sequencing. So I think I play Mox, discard the Cabal Pit because it would probably deal me a good amount of damage this game. Fetch Bayou and play Chalice. Mm. Well, we tried. Like, I can Liliana make them sack, and they sack the Deathrite Shaman, or I can decay the Shaman. That just happens sometimes. Deathrite Shaman needs banning. Too strong. Bear with 2 guns, please find a better word. English language is real big. Alright, well, what would I board out instead of Chromebox? Because I don't know. I like Lily Last for just picking off all the random stuff that sticks to the table. What does this hand do? This hand plays a turn 2 Chalice. It has Decay for stuff that hits the table. But I'm not really going anywhere. This one might be a mulligan. Like, Chalice is kind of medium. Like, every card in my hand is kind of medium. I'm gonna ship this. I can't produce colored mana, but I still have the Chalice that I had last time around, and if I scry a green land for this library, this hand's acceptable. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. Oh, the hand's not good, but I don't think I want to go to 5 when I can produce a Chalice. Bear with 2 guns in American culture. Oh, wow, that's awesome for me. In American culture, using the word retarded as sort of just like a generic derogatory thing is kind of frowned upon, and it doesn't really make you look intelligent. I'm not doing the greedy smallpox play. I'm not doing it. Alright. Alright, opponent had it all both games. This deck's really fun. Like, I know we just got, like, skunked there, Minifer. But, like, I don't regret my lines. I mean, like, let me put it this way. If you have any... I will be keeping this hand solid. If you have any degree of, like, education or professionalism and you're going around and calling people retarded, it just looks very, very poorly upon you as a person. You get judged real hard for throwing that word around casually here. So just to, like, have this turn 3 goldfish with a him on turn 2, I'm just gonna lead on stage. Yeah, so, like, the like, technical medical terminology usage of that has basically fallen out of favor. And it's in America, at least, it's basically just an insult. Ooh. So we're playing against Storm. Oh man, are they going off despite a him? not have a kill. Very much does not have a kill. Like, they can only produce... Oh, wait, hold on. Let me confirm. So they have black... So they have 1, 2, 3 mana. So they have 1, 2, 3 mana. They can go down to 1 mana, crack LED, go up to 4 mana. Okay, yeah, they don't have a kill yet. The Tendrils is in hand, and Storm Count's low. I'm like 1 ritual off from just dying to Tendrils. I don't know. I mean, honestly, thank you for asking, Bear with 2 guns. Like, we had a reasonable, nice discussion about that. Okay, now I probably just get Past in Flames dead. So 2 mana, Infernal Tutor, crack for 6 mana, 1's red, 1's black, cast Past in Flames, going to 2 mana, Dark Writ, Cabal Writ. Yeah. No. Bear with 2 guns was good. Alright. So I like Thoughtseize. I guess the ley lines are fine. That might be it. Choke and Sinkhole aren't exactly what I want to be doing. I'll see how many cards I have that I want to board out, because I'm going to have a ton of cards I want to board out. So I don't want these, and I don't want that. And I don't want these. Ugh. Nossman, I'm going to leave Tombstalker in the board as a Living Wish target. Then I effectively have, 2 copies of it instead of just 1 copy. Okay, I guess Bontu's is not unreasonable if my opponent empties. That's fair. It's either play Bontu's or play, 2 Decays that can randomly hit, a Mox or an LED that was played out. Out of curiosity, what's your opinion of Thraben Inspector in Brightling D&T? I don't think Thraben Inspector is particularly legacy playable. Yeah, I don't know that, Choke and Sinkhole are good enough. Is that better than Pox? I can see a Sinkhole over a Pox. Loam's bad. I think I want to keep one Loam just to kind of, like, be the glue that holds everything together. Gooby Brightling is insane. Changes the archetype a lot. Very, very good. So I don't have green mana for these. But I do have, like, the combo naturally and a Chalice. So that's good enough for me. And I'm gonna... Nosman, 1 Living Wish. Chalice on 0 is less powerful than Chalice on 1. But I don't want to get this duressed. That would be absolutely devastating for me. Killing Form. I would try out Brightling, and then just, like, wait a little while longer to play Goblins, because then you get that new Scrapmaster guy. Delicious. That new, like, 4-drop Lord/Artifact Destroyer seems insane. Yeah, that's why I led on Chalice on 0, is, like, fear of that. So awkward. But it's okay. Yes, I would play 2 Brightlings. I would play 2 Brightlings main deck, personally. Ooh. Oh, shoot. So this will just be Dark Petition for Past in Flames, and then I'm dead. Yes, Gooby. I think you 100% play the 24th land if you're playing Brightling. Nossman, if my opponent has a Duress in hand, the first thing they do with their first turn is definitely Duress me. And they had a Duress in hand. So if I didn't play out that Chalice on 0, then I had no disruptive elements at all. This is a mulligan. I can only produce 1 mana. Yeah, the site's down. I'll get it back up later. So it's not good. Like, I guess if I draw a Dark Depths or a Living Wish, this hand's acceptable. Or if my opponent doesn't lead on Deathright Shaman, this is acceptable. But I'm pretty sure my opponent's on Delver, and I just feel like I'm going to get, like, picked to death by whatever, like, turn 1 threat they play. But that probably doesn't get much better with going to 5. Turn 2 Lily. Deal. Sean, I have to do packing later today, so this is likely to be the only stream of the day. I don't know for sure. Nossman, but if I don't lead on Chalice on 0, then he certainly duresses me turn 1. I'm just going to take the Wasteland play here. Yeah, so I have moved into a new place. I am now spending the next 3 weeks at Randolph-Macon College for Latin Academy, starting tomorrow. No, the user, the Ant Colony in chat, designed this. Oh, I didn't think they had that since they, like, did not do it the previous turn. There's a second swamp, right? Yeah. So I can go swamp, forest, diamond, pitch, other swamp, lily. Makes sense to me. Menguchi top tier. So one thing to keep in mind is that 90% of those videos that Menguchi makes are not with a deck that he knows how to play. He just gets some wacky deck list and tries it out. And so, of course, you see him making mistakes. What most of you probably don't appreciate is, like, how difficult it is to, like, play and, like, do all this commentary at the same time. It is diverting a lot of your brain power away from what you want to be doing. Cyan, I don't think Isolate is playable. Like, for my purposes, for example, it's mostly just going to be worse than, like, a Path to Exile. I'm not going to play out this Thespian stage here. I think I want to, like, just hold it so that I can either, like, catch my opponent tapping the Wasteland or, like, copy a basic in response to a Wasteland activation. Gotcha. Feel free to stifle that. I will accept one of your cards. One, two, three, four, more than 7. This deck's so fun. I'm fine with playing this Urborg. I don't care if it gets wasted. I just want to play around Spell Pierce. Burst Lightning and Daze. I don't really need to get another Mox Diamond, so I'm fine with just playing this out. Again, let me play around soft counter magic like Daze easier. I don't even think I cast that yet. I'm gonna wait for a dude. Burst Lightning is not particularly normal, but it's not particularly like, oh wow, Burst Lightning. Like, you'll see things like Burst Lightning, Wild Slash, Tar Fire. You'll see all sorts of things in flex slots. The Dark Depths I don't think I want to play out yet. Yeah, I still think I make no plays. Yeah, Jordan's good people. I like Jordan. His streams are funny. I won't claim they're the best legacy content all the time, but they are enjoyable. That's for sure. I see you have a big fish, sir. Be a shame if that fish got sick. Ooh, that's good. So I think I cast Bontu's Last Reckoning. And if that resolves, then just like Gurmag Angler is dead and I don't care about my lands not untapping. And then I just like don't do anything else this turn. And then if Bontu's gets countered, I'll follow up with a Smallpox. Yeah, I'm just going to take no action here. I don't want to expose Living Wish to Spell Piercer Daze. Yeah, tapping the Mox would have been smart. I agree. I really thought it was going to get countered, though. I can try to just, like, smallpox this Pyromancer off the table, but that probably doesn't work in a number of different ways. So I'm just going to cast Living Wish. Alright, super punished for not tapping the Mox on the previous turn. Let's just get rid of everything, shall we? Alright, I made a number of errors that game, just due to, like, not having familiarity with this deck and trying to keep up with the chat. That's on me. Board out a wish. Okay, I could see that. I think I want to do this. I don't think Choke is amazing, but I think it's a must counter card that really stresses their mana. And if this game goes anything like the previous one, where we kind of drag on to like middling turns, Choke can be okay. I could also see trimming a Mox. Speed isn't necessarily like the biggest deal here. Maybe keeping the Wish as a second copy of Tombstalker is just better. Let's try that. I mean, I've got a Chalice, I've got a Decay, I've got a Hymn, I've got a Living Wish. I've got action. I even get to lead on Swamp, so my first land isn't exposed. If I fetch, I might get stifled. I don't really want to get stifled. Let's jam that. This deck is really hard to play while also keeping up with the chat. Like, there's a bunch of things that, like, would be obvious if you were paying full attention that I'm just, like, fucking up. Bolt and a Delta, not great hits. Like, I fucked up like 4 different times in that last game. Yeah, Ant Colony, I agree. That is exactly my line. Play Library first to play around Days, and then Decay is uncounterable. well, we played around the days, but opponent hit force. Hopefully they don't have too much gas left. Alternatively, if they just, like, tap out, I can Living Wish and get a Dark Depths, or, like, Living Wish and get a Tombstalker. Or, alternatively, got another plan now. It's a good plan. Whee! I'm less certain about Library and Choke when on the draw. I don't want this Choke on the draw. So Chromox can come back in. Like, Library can help find removal on the draw, which matters, but I don't know that I want, like, a second. So I think this is what I'm going to go with. Yeah, like, I agree that Library's slow, but, like, these 5 cards really just need to stay in the sideboard, unless I just board in Wasteland over Library. It's not crazy. Hmm. Yeah, there's a depths in the board. Sweet. Opponent did not have both Daze and Stifle. I feel like opponent has Stifle based on their play patterns. I'm gonna give him a land. So that I can safely fetch with the other one. Why not Decay Shaman? Because I thought my opponent had Stifle, and my mana use is so much more efficient if I just go and use the whatchamacallit. Use the Dismember there. Second Baron Moore is pretty rough. Oof. No, I think you need the forest. Like, a forest is so important for just, like, keeping your loam engine going. So the funny thing is, like, I'm not really all that dead still, even after losing all those cards, like 5 cards to him. I think there's 2 Urborgs. 2 Urborgs. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. I'm gonna play Dark Depths right now, and hope to spike a Thespian stage. So since my opponent has this Brainstorm, that means that even if I produce the Tentacle Monster, I get to block Delver. I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm still dead. Yeah, Bontus would be pretty sweet. So I can literally Last Hope kill that and still be dead. So HC Fox, like, If I'm wrong, though, and they don't have Stifle, and my spell actually resolves there, it is just insane to just, like, drop that Lily on an empty board. And Stifle is going to, like, in all likelihood, get one of my fetches sooner or later. So I think I'm fine just, like, picking that spot to do it. Alright, chat, I'm going to take 30 seconds and run to the bathroom, and then we'll go into our last round. Alright, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University. Today we're streaming with something a little bit unusual, kind of this, like, green-black Bontu's control deck list. It seemed a little clunky in some capacities, but it's a lot of fun. Also surprisingly difficult to play. There's a lot of weird decision trees. So I think my opponent plays Reanimator. That is a lot of Moxen. So what do I want against Reanimator? Like, is a him good enough to buy time for me to find something else? Like, this goes like on the play. Turn 1 him. Hope it's good enough. Oh, I'm totally hemming Reanimator. Like, given the opportunity to, I 100% am. I will roll those dice. I just don't have a plan to victory. So, like, even if I him and I like cripple them temporarily, I just don't have anything to do with this hand. So I think I pitched this. I think I just, like, I have too much mana. This one I'll keep. I don't have Caracas, unfortunately. don't even think I'm going to cast my Living Wish yet, because if I find half of the combo, I'm going to want to find the other half. I also don't want to tutor for something and then end up just, like, discarding it to my Smallpox. Oh, man. It's a good mulligan. Bontu's Last Reckoning. Be real good here. Got him another creature in the graveyard. I'm so good. Bontu's Last Reckoning. Dang it. Well, I'm going down like this, chat. You can't stop me. Oh, this is fun. Alright. Leyline seems sweet. Thoughtseize seems acceptable. Abrupt Decay is pretty weak. Dismember's pretty weak. Yeah, I just always assume that every red-black Reanimator deck list sideboard starts with 4 Wear Tears. Yeah, I think Last Hope is going to be my final cut. HC Fox, I don't think that's good. I will keep this. And I don't think I want a Living Wish for anything on turn 1. Again, if I find the other relevant half of a combo, I want to play that. Plus my opponent might just, like, take it instead of a Smallpox. Yeah, I mean, there are other packages you can play. Am I okay with trading one of my lands for one of my opponent's lands and one of their cards? Probably. I'm going to get Swamp here in case my opponent is playing the build that has the 2 Magus of the Moons in the board, so that I can still Abrupt Decay through a Magus. Deal. I'm just gonna take all this damage here. None of these cards actually do anything because I'm about to play a Chalice on 1. So I don't want the Bontus or the Hymn that's on top. Ooh, Living Wish is great. Alright, opponent has had enough. So HC Fox, I don't know that like how much room you really have the sideboard once you like keep in mind that there are 5 Living Wish targets here, and you need cards for certain matchups, right? So like you only have 10 real sideboard cards. I don't know that you can afford 2 just like super fair cards, because like you need some removal, you need some things that are good against like various combo decks and such. This hand is insane. Again, I'm going to respect the Magus of the Moon by fetching a basic. Huh. So this is interesting. I can just take the Thoughtseize and protect my Lily and Bontus that can answer their stuff. That's probably my best option. And then just, like, leave them on... If they just draw a creature, Stronghold Gambit puts it in. If they draw an Entomb, Reanimate puts it in. I think I'm supposed to take Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is the only card in their hand that, like, actively does something right now. So I'm soft to a second discard spell. Ugh. Iona on black, you say? Alright, I'm just dead to that. So it goes. Okay. This deck list was fun. I don't particularly think it's a great deck list, but I kind of, like, knew that going in. It's interesting. It attacks from weird angles. I didn't play optimally, but I think a couple of those rounds were just sort of, like, out of my reach anyway. I felt like when I was doing what I was doing, like, wanting to do, it was very powerful. But I felt like most of the time I wasn't doing what I wanted to do unless I had Loam. And with only 2 copies in the deck, I didn't feel like a lot of the time I was firing all cylinders without Loam. Like, I like the design space that is being explored by the deck. And, like, Living Wish plus, like, Stage Depths, Hex Mage, like, that's a really good Living Wish package, and I really like Tombstalker just as, like, Living Wish, here is a win condition that doesn't require me to, like, rely on my lands. So, like, I like the angle of attack there. But I sort of wonder if, like, the deck needs one more Loam. Because I feel like I just, like, always want Loam. think the mistake here is that you can never beat a Resolve Grizzlebrand, even if you have a Liliana, you can just get it back when all the cards they draw. Yeah, sure. But what if it's not Grizzlebrand? Like, what if they draw, you know, a Chancellor or a Tidespout Tyrant or an archetype of Endurance or something of that nature? Like those cards I can like beat in the short term with like Edict and then Bontus. So I don't think I regret taking the Thoughtseize. Because, like, if my Lily goes, then they have just, like, infinite time to draw out of their bad hand because I don't have anything else to do with my hand. So I still think taking the Thoughtseize is right. Yeah, like, Grizzlebrand was actual factual best draw in their deck there. Like, a non-Grizzlebrand creature is beatable, and a lot of other cards are beatable, just not Grizzlebrand there. Oh, so this was fun. I didn't expect to do well with this deck going into it. I probably could have turned the 1-4 into a 2-3 pretty easily. I know. The 3-2 might have been in reach. But I don't think anything beyond that was possible for me. I really enjoyed the first game that I played against Miracles. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that a lot. And, like, that showed this deck working, right? Like, that was, like, one of those games where I had the Loam engine going. I just felt, like, super, super safe. And when the deck was doing its thing there, I just really liked it. But overall, I think that, like, if you want to play a Chalice Loam deck, like, Aggro Loam is just probably going to be superior since it can close games faster. Oh, Static Grip. That's a good point. So, if I did take the Gambit, he still draws Grizzlebrand. He Thoughtseizes himself and then reanimates it, and I'm still just like mega boned. Yeah. Okay. So that was an unbeatable draw. That's fair. And he still gets to draw 7, right? He was at 20, fetch to 19. Thoughtseize would put to 17. Reanimate would put to 9. Yeah, he could still go to 2 and draw 7. Yeah, so I still wouldn't have beaten that. Yep. So I don't think I'll play this deck again, but this was a fun digression from the norm. I was looking for something kind of kooky to play today, and I found this, and this was great. So let's talk about the next couple of weeks. So what's coming on this channel? So tomorrow I leave for Latin Academy, and so tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday are kind of like prep and starting off days where I will have absolutely no time to possibly stream. And then after that, every other morning is a possible time for a stream. So I put this below the stream, but I think Monday's the first day of classes, so Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday morning are possible times for streams next week between approximately, I think, 9 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. Those will be the times where I'll be shooting to stream. It's not always going to happen, and I can't stream at every one of those opportunities necessarily. But like I'm gonna want to play Magic, and those will be my opportunities to do it. I also have Sunday mornings before noon off, so that's another possible time where I can stream. Again, it's going to be a little wonky, so if you haven't followed already and you enjoy my content, this is a great time to follow. Because my stream schedule is going to get a little weird, and that's why I pushed so hard to like do so much content this week. I think I streamed on average like two leagues a day this week or something like that. It was pretty nuts. It was a lot of fun. All right. It's possible I will have time for another league this afternoon or this evening, but I do have to like pack and prep for Latin Academy, so that's going to take priority, and that's going to happen first. So again, my name's Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University. If you enjoy legacy content, please consider follow, subscribing, or donating in order to help me do what I'm doing here. Cheers and have a good afternoon.